Well, good morning. Find me here on a bit of a drizzly, wet morning. Still here at the north of the Isle of Gear, but we're gonna set sail and head north, I think. Wind's not exactly doing what it's supposed to be doing right now, but I'm hoping that's just the island sort of whipping it around a bit. It should be coming from the east, and it's coming from not the east, kind of more like the northeast, but hopefully once we get around the island, hopefully that'll clear up, because as I say, we've got quite a lot of distance to make today if we're going to get up towards Ardfern. So it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't able to drag myself up quite as early as I'd hoped, and also we have a neighbour. No idea when they arrived, but either it was this morning or it was late last night. But anyway, either way, I gotta get myself sorted, get things tidied away and ready, and then we can get going. Right, we're about ready, so let's haul up the anchor and try and sneak out of this little spot, shall we? Still making pretty good headway. I've only got the head sail out. I think we're averaging 5 knots most of the time. So I might try and stick the main up with just a heavy reef in to see what's going on. But yeah, really so far so good. Still got about 20 miles to go. So we're just heading into the Sound of Jura. Went through the overfalls, really rough patch. Happened to be down below making a coffee at that time. It's probably not the ideal time to be doing that. So yeah, just suddenly things got pretty wayward down below. Had to rush up here and take it over. But yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but actually I think it was pretty good to go through that. See the boat, handle it well. Still sailing. We've been sailing now, I guess we've done about 11 miles now, so we are not quite halfway, but yeah, making really good time. But yeah, good sailing day. Lots of leaning, lots of bouncing. Good for building a bit of confidence, but it's not too touch wood, not too scary at the moment. So crack on. There's a 3+ hours depending on the speed, but yeah, good day so far. Come up on the front to have a look. We're in the lee of the land now, so things have calmed down quite a bit. Wind's died off a little bit, unfortunately, but We're still traveling about 3 knots, so that's fine, and the waves have kind of gone, so that's kind of nice. I've decided I'm just cutting the corner of my route that I had planned so I can go around these couple of islands. If I go on the inside of them, hopefully I'll shave about half a mile off my course. So, but yeah, I'm just having to sort of tuck a little closer into the wind to do that. Nice to be back up in the Sound of Jura. Looking forward to back to Craignish and Ardfern. That's the place where we fell in love with Scotland. So yeah, and hopefully the wind's going to hold out. It is going to die pretty soon, I think, but hopefully we can get another hour or so out of it and get a bit closer so I don't have to motor too far. Well, sadly, as predicted, the wind has died off. We're on motor now, debating whether I can find somewhere to stop off before I get up to Loch Craignish, because it's still got like 13 miles, so I don't really want to motor the 13 miles. Seems a bit pointless. There's better wind tomorrow. There's a couple of anchorages on the way up here that I could go into. They're not the best, but I think I am gonna. Boom's about to take me out. I think I am gonna try and find somewhere to stop off closer. Like I say, there's no point running the engine for hours and hours when I'm not in a rush, and I could go sail up there tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm gonna look at the charts. We'll see if we can figure something out. I think I found somewhere I'm going to head to. It's called Carsig Bay. Doesn't look like the best anchorage, but there's a little tuck-in spot on the south side, which, assuming there's no one else in there, should be pretty sheltered. There's not going to be much wind. Most of it's coming from the south, so this bay is pretty sheltered from the south. And by the time it's going to turn around coming from the west in the morning, which is not as good for this bay, but hopefully by then I can be up and on the way and take advantage of that wind. So yeah, it's about let's have a look how well you'll be able to see, but I'm here and it is up here, so there to there, so it's about 4 miles, I think. Use a little measuring tool. Yeah, 4.5 miles, something like that. So yeah, might as well. It saves me, you know, 5-6 miles motoring, and then like I say, I can sail tomorrow. So plus it's an interesting new place that I've not been to before, so might as well do that. So not sure we're going to get much out of the wind for the next hour, but we'll just keep chugging along, and yeah, I'll pick it up when we're getting close. Well, we made it. Not quite exactly where I was planning on making it to today, but like I say, there's no point pushing on the motor for hours and hours when I'm not in a rush. And there'll be wind tomorrow, and I found myself quite a nice little anchorage here. A little bit dicey on the way in there. I think I saw the depth gauge read 1.7 at one point, and as far as I'm aware, I'm about 1.8, so yeah. Lucky I didn't run aground, but yeah, I think this is alright. The guide said to kind of anchor over that way, but it gets down to like half a metre over there, so yeah, I've come out into the middle where I'm sort of sat. I'm in about 6 metres here. I guess I'm just going to tidy up, cockpit and everything, and then relax for a few hours, and yeah, see what the rest of the day comes. I might jump in the dinghy in a bit and go for an explore. I've got plenty of time to kill. Well, the rain's let off a bit, so I figured I would take the dinghy out for a spin and we'll go and have a little bit of an explore up and down the channel that we're in. I'm not swimming today. It's very cold and I'm cold, so no. But first job I want to do is find my anchor. It's too deep for the boy, so it's under the water somewhere, and just mark my anchor point. So we're going to have a quick scooch around, see if we can find the anchor, because I forgot to do it when I put the anchor down. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, pretty much sat with the boats right there. So pretty much sat right on top of it, so that's all right. There's no current or tide right now, so it makes sense. That was quite a nice little excursion to shore. Some nice shots of the boat from up on the, after scrambling up on the hill. But I'm going to head back now because the midges that live on this island, I'm not sure what they feed on when I'm not here, are starting to attack. So it's time for me to head back to the boat where midges can't find me. At least I hope so. And then I think I'm going to get some dinner on and probably call this day done. Oh, good morning everyone. Next day, still in our anchorage. I've had a bit of a slow start today because there's been no wind this morning, and it was raining quite a bit, so I wasn't in a rush to get going, but it's about time that we did. The wind's picked up a little bit. It's coming from the sort of south, which is pretty good for us, so we're going to be heading north. So plan is, I got the engine warming up because the batteries are super low, and I needed some power just to get everything to turn on. So the engine's been running for a few minutes, so I think we are about ready to pull up the anchor. I'm just going to motor straight out because we're pretty narrow passage here, and hopefully you can see there's some rocks right behind us there, which we're going to be drifting onto pretty quickly, so I don't want that to happen obviously. So yeah, we're going to motor back out the way we came. You can actually get out through the northern channel, but it's narrow and shallow, and I don't need that kind of stress this morning just to save 5 minutes. So yeah, we're going to go back out the way we came, around the island, head north, and the plan is to head to a little bay just to the west of Ardfern and Loch Craignish, and it should be fairly sheltered given the wind direction for the next 24 hours. So yeah, hopefully we're going to get to sail up there, but I am going to have to run the engine for a little bit, like I say, just get some power, just to get my food in the fridge back below a safe level, shall we say. Right, so I'll get the last few bits sorted, pull up the anchor and let's go. So we're pootling along quite nicely, actually doing 6.5 knots, both sails up. Still got the main reefed from yesterday, but could probably let it out, but I don't really want to go up on deck and undo it because it's quite rolly. But yeah, we're just passing through, well, we're about to pass through the kind of the line of rocks that leads to Doris Moor. If you know what Doris Moor is, it's kind of cut through between Loch Craignish and I guess it'd be the Sound of Long. I don't know, I'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, and basically it's got quite the tidal race through it. Not sure what time it is and whether it's the right time to go through it, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to pass by further south. Yeah, basically there's an island which we passed not long ago, which is kind of the end of like a shallow line of what I'm guessing at one point would have been a big rock peninsula. It's been ground away and most of it's under the water now, and obviously because it gets really shallow there in between these two bodies of water, you get quite a lot of tidal running through it. Now I'm cutting through a lot further out, so by the looks of it, it doesn't look too bad. There is a bit of a rough patch of water back there, which I was going to go through, but I figured, yeah, might as well avoid that, no need to. So yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad. Keep at this pace. We're actually going to be there in about an hour or so, so it's going to be a fairly short sail today, but that's fine. But yeah, so far, really nice sail for today, so let's hope that continues. So this is the thing with tidal races I was talking about Doris Moor. So I'm kind of going through it in the middle there. You can see island there and kind of other end of the line there. It feels like I'm sailing, but I'm not, basically. Well, I mean, I'm probably making about a knot, maybe if I'm lucky. Like I say, it looks like I'm sailing, and over the water I'm probably doing 3-4 knots. But in terms of like over the land, if you look, literally sailing to stand still. To be fair, the wind has died off a little bit, but yeah, because I'm pushing against so much tide, I am barely making any progress in the direction I was heading. But I am kind of being pushed in the direction I want to go anyway, so I'm not too worried. If I was smart and sensible, I would have looked up the tidal runs are for today and done this at the right time, but it might have been raining then, so I'd rather just sit here. And as you can tell, it ain't exactly a scary rough day out here today, so it takes me half an hour to get through here. I don't care, not in a rush. So yeah, we'll just keep plugging on and hope that we are actually making some very slight progress. So I've relented and put the engine on. Yeah, I started going backwards. So one thing to sail and not go anywhere, but another thing to sail and go backwards. But yeah, it is such an interesting. Just across from here is the Strait of Craignish. Apologies for pronunciation. That is like generally considered one of like the top 5 most dangerous passages in the world. So yeah, pretty scary stuff. Gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting the tide to be this bad this far out from Doris Moor, but I guess I just timed it wrong, or didn't time it at all. So yeah, lesson learned there, but so far so good. Managed to push myself out of it. By the looks of it, I'm back up to 4 knots, so we'll keep on pushing. We should be there, well, in about an hour or so, depending on the wind. We're almost here. It's been a interesting sail. Lots of tidal races, you know, you keep going left and right, back, forward. But yeah, we've done pretty well. I did end up shaking out the rest of the sail, so we're on full sail at the moment because the wind did die as we got a bit higher up here. But I'm going to have to pull that down now because we are heading into the bay ahead, and it's quite a narrow, sort of tight entrance. It is low tide, so it should make hopefully the channel a bit easier to see. There's plenty of depth to get in there, but there's like rocks on either side, so I've got to be a little bit careful. So well, we are anchored in this nice little bay, potentially a little bit exposed to the south, but I do think that the wind's going to be dying off later, so I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I have to keep an eye on it. We are pretty close in to the shore, but it's pretty deep all the way out to the edge, so I think it should be alright here, and it's pretty good holding. I decided to come to shore, have a bit of a wander. You can just see the boat over there, hopefully. So there's not much around here. Yeah, there's literally no footpaths, no roads. There's a stone wall over there and a bunch of geese, but that's about it. But it's nice to walk more than the 3 meters that I can walk on the boat at any one time. Because I'm glad I didn't come any further in. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but this bay is like a forest, this stringy, horrible weed, which is just like prop fouling specials. But yeah, have a look. So yeah, if you ever come to this bay, careful where you anchor. Random little field boat is up right next to me. Yeah, glad I didn't come in much further. I think it's alright where the boat is. I didn't notice any when I was looking over, but yeah, it's pretty hard for the old electric motor to get through, so yeah, certainly wouldn't want to get the old main prop wrapped up in that. I had enough prop problems on this trip. Again, without banging my head. So good morning. Oh. Actually, it's coming up on afternoon, to be fair. I've had a bit of a slow start to today, partly because it is absolutely miserable out here, you can potentially tell. A bit of breeze, not too much, but lots of rain. But we are going to have to move because today is the big day where Skylar and Jo are going to join me, so the horrible weather's arrived just in time for them. So we've got to get back to Ardfern. I think it's probably about 4 or 5 miles. Basically, I could probably pretty much throw a stone over this hill and hit the boatyard, but obviously boats don't go over hills that efficiently, so we're going to have to go back up that way, back through the Doris Moor, or through the Doris Moor, we didn't go through it yesterday, and then down Loch Craignish to Ardfern. So if we get going shortly, hopefully we'll be there sort of early afternoon, give you time to clean up this 3-week plus manhole and turn it into something that a lady might be interested in going into. Yes, and then I can do some shopping and just do a few bits and bobs. I've been looking at the tide flow charts this morning to try and figure out where we stand with the Doris Moor and getting through it. I think it's in our favour, or at least it will be for the next couple of hours, which is long enough for us to get up there. I went for a little razz last night in the dinghy just to go and have an explore over there. There's like another channel that you can theoretically get into this bay from over there. I certainly wouldn't want to get into anything bigger than a dinghy. And I tried to get up through that in the dinghy, and at full power, the dinghy was like crawling forward. It was crazy. It was like literally trying to drive up a fast flowing river. And as soon as I killed the motor, it just... So yeah. Hopefully we won't be having, that wasn't a sort of premonition to what today is going to be like. But yeah, so I'm going to get myself sorted, get the boat rigged, and yeah, I think we'll get going. Well, we're underway. Just got the head sail out at the moment. We are chipping along, doing 6.5 knots. Although I'm just going to go into neutral because we were still driving on the engine a little bit. Have a galleon chasing us down, but hopefully they go past us. Certainly going a lot faster than us, so I'm just going to hold this course for a little bit and let them decide what they're going to do. Doris Moor is not far away, probably about a mile, so I can see it coming up ahead. Bit of a traffic jam for the Doris Moor, to be honest. I got the one that passed us, who were just doing tack. Actually, I think they're just pulling down their sails to go through the Doris because the wind's going to be right on nose, which I'll probably have to do the same. There's another one just crossing in front of me on motor. So I'm kind of hoping that this means that the time's right, unless they're all panicking and turning away from it. But we'll follow these guys through, and then we get to see what happens to them, and if they survive, then there's a marginal chance that we will also. So yeah, but everyone seems to be heading for it, so yeah, fingers crossed. Very gusty at the moment. Sometimes we're doing 5.5, 6 knots. We've got this boat behind us. They're flying along with a nice bit of heel on. But yeah, we seem to be in a bit of a sheltered hill here, but I have a feeling as soon as we come into the gap here, we're going to get absolutely hammered. Which is probably why everyone's pulling in their sails early. Maybe I should do the same, but I'm only on the head sail. I was going to get main out, but by the time we get the main out, I'll be ready to bring it back in. Here we go. Here comes the gusts. Yeah, be strong, give and say we're only on the head sail. Right, anyways, I should probably stop pointing the camera at myself and start worrying about where I'm pointing the boat. Okay, we're going through. We're going 5 knots in the right direction, so hopefully that means the tide isn't too terrible. Just coming into the narrowest point now. Doesn't look too bad ahead. Bit choppy, sort of boiling water as I call it. We're going to be able to start turning up Loch Craignish in a second, so but yeah. One of the things, this is like, I think they can get 8-knot tides through here when things are bad. You know, that sort of springs at the worst time kind of thing. Obviously that would be pretty unpleasant, but so far so good. We're through. Right, let's head on down, and I better give Ardfern a call and just figure out where I'm going, but yeah, head down there and get on a mooring and do some of my domestic goddess chores. So, nice leisurely sail. Should be there in about 40 minutes. We're just sort of drifting up the middle channel of Loch Craignish. It's kind of an interesting loch. There's sort of lines of rocks, or islands I guess, that run up along it. It splits it into sort of 3 main channels. Okay, so we're in. Wasn't exactly the most textbook example of a dock, I guess. Didn't really help that I'm not where I thought I was going to be. I was meant to be on 79, but that's where that blue boat is. So I was set up for starboard 2, like that boat. But I'm actually going to be, I think, on this on 78, which I should be port 2. So hence slight change of plan, and I just tucked in here. Don't know if I'll have to move or not, but she's tied up, she's safe, so I guess that's the main thing. Right, let's go check in. So it's been a pretty wet afternoon here at Ardfern. I've got some of my chores done, did the washing, just currently cooking some dinner so that when Jo gets here we've got dinner ready. And yeah, looking forward to seeing Jo and Skylar. But I'm going to wrap this episode up. We're going to start the next episode with Jo and Skylar, which means that you get a bit more interest, because I'm sure you're all here mainly to see Skylar and not my ugly mug. But also the quality of the filming is going to improve a lot, because Jo has fancy cameras and I just have a GoPro. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the last few episodes with my solo adventure. It's been a bit of a roller coaster with various dramas and terrifying moments, but yeah, it's been really good. I'm really proud to have come this far and to have got myself all the way to Ardfern on my own without crashing the boat or sinking it. So yeah, next step, head further north. Not 100% sure what we're going to do, but hopefully lots of more adventures to come. So make sure to subscribe and like and all that if you want to follow along with that. But most of all, guys, check back for the next one.